Blended learning to me is super important for my students. It is an amazing way to make sure that all of my students are getting what they need, and it's a really personalized way to provide instruction. Since I switched over to blended, my students have been so much more focused on meeting their goals. We set goals together and they know my expectations for each and every day of what they have to get done to get to do the fun things that they look forward to doing. My students also are able to self-reflect at the end of groups before they get to do the fun may-dos. They take time to really stop and think through our success criteria. They're able to rank themselves and say, I'm not there yet, or I'm approaching, but I still need some more practice. And it's been really inspiring to see students be able to voice that. Even when they're in second grade, they're able to say, I understand this part, but I'm still struggling with this aspect. And as a teacher, that's our ultimate goal, is to meet kids where they're at and what they need. Blended is also awesome because it gives students voice and choice. They get to pick where they go first. They get to pick what they do next. I've had some students choose to do what they say is like their least favorite first because they want to get it out of the way to get to the fun stuff. Whereas I have some students who are the complete opposite and they pick to do the fun stuff first and then get to the stuff that they don't like as much. But overall, blended learning has helped my students become more motivated learners, more independent, and they're not set on a set schedule of we're going to rotate when the bell rings, you're going to do this for a certain amount of time. Students can truly take the amount of time that they need on what they need to focus on. And so whether it takes them 5 minutes to do their 6 questions or it takes them 15 minutes to do their 6 questions, they're able to move on at the time that they need so that I can pull groups and make it a lot more personalized and individualized as well.
Blended learning has been great for my students. I'm a special education teacher now, and it has helped my students with disabilities be more interactive with the content. It's helped me better service them because I can tailor the stations to their needs. And it also requires the students to take more ownership of their learning, which is, imperative for students with disabilities because they need to learn how their brains work. So overall, blended learning has been great. I can't wait to keep doing it and trying more stuff.
We just wanted to give a shout out to the blended learning model that we're seeing being used here at West Middle. This year we've really done more than just dip our toe into the blended learning model. We're seeing it across content areas and across grade levels. And our students are kind of singing the praises of it. I've gone into some rooms and spoken to students and said, what do you like about this style of learning with the 4 stations? And one student told me, well, I really like it because we cover so much in a single day. And another student said that they really like it because when they get to the teacher-led station, they know that they have a chance for all of their questions to get answered. And so I think that just speaks volume to the design of blended learning and how it really creates a student-teacher ratio that's manageable for management reasons, but also for academic reasons. And I think that when our kids start to see that you're in a really sweet spot when the kids start to identify those things. Maybe they don't word it that way, but they are reaping the benefits of the 4-station model and having a teacher station where they can really dive into the content for the class.
And from a coaching perspective, we love blended learning because it allows our teachers the opportunities to build more opportunities to respond for our students. So every student, every time is automatically built into this instructional practice. We also really encourage blended learning at West Middle because of the self-paced lessons for our students and the voice and the choice that it gives them in their own learning path, and how long they need to spend in each area to dive a little deeper if they need to, or to go ahead and progress on and eventually get on to an enrichment activity furthering their learning in that content.
And something we're seeing from the teacher perspective is that once you plan 1 or 2 lessons in this format, whether it's a level 1 blended learning lesson with the 4 stations or a level 2 where it's a little more self-paced, once you've done that 1 or 2 times, the planning aspect becomes less and less daunting because it's in your mind how you're going to do it. You have the physical setup of the classroom ready, and we're seeing teachers that are more and more willing to do more lessons in this style because they've already kind of gone over that hurdle of the initial planning.
And the impact that it's having on student learning is so very evident that once you've stepped into blended learning, it's hard to ignore the evidence of student achievement and success from the assessments and from that whole process of student learning.
Yeah, so we've had a really good experience, and we would encourage teachers in other schools, especially on the secondary level, to give this a try. That it's something that students have transitioned into very well, with not a lot of instruction or problems with behavior and things. So if you're kind of wondering if it's for you, give it a shot.
Thank you.